So I recall the first thing I did today being finishing that styrofoam drawing the other day, finishing at around 12:35 a.m. I essentially said that I wanted to have a steak tonight. After me and Dad went to Salvatore's, it's currently 10:55 p.m. We went to Salvatore's at around 5:30 p.m. That's around the time someone called the Magic Man comes to Salvatore's every Wednesday to perform magic tricks. Why the time slot of 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. was chosen of all times, I'm not quite sure. There weren't that many people. During the roughly hour or so me and Dad were there. It was within the week of his birthday, so Dad redeemed to get a free medium pizza with charred Old World pepperoni and sausage. I believe we both ate a total of 4 slices at 2 sessions of 2 slices. So we shared the pizza evenly. I had 2 painkiller cocktails, which is essentially a cocktail with pineapple juice, coconut. The second one had a lemon garnish, it seemed to me, but there wasn't much sourness to it. This is leftover garlic bread from yesterday when we went to Salvatore's for pasta night. Salvatore's has pretty good pizza. And this is where I'm at currently. And we weren't able to ultimately make it to the end on the fellowship adventures, but I helped my fellowship get pretty far. Excuse me. Got a total of 15 workshops. So hopefully I'll be able to perform better in future Fellowship Adventures events. And Stronghold Kingdoms. I'm currently building up Zeta Village. I renamed the 12th village Sifi Village. It's Sevti. Yeah, I got the steak. A new packet of the Zero Waters for $9. This steak was purchased for $12. It's a pretty lean steak. Dad described it as having no fat. On the way back from Wegmans. He went to Wegmans after I was done. We were done at Salvatore's. I believe Dad also got some ground coffee. While we were at Salvatore's, even though I've got this sort of impression that the magic guy would be more inclined to perform in front of families and young children, he stopped by our table of 2 adults. On 2 separate occasions. The first time he performed a card trick and a trick involving a magic pizza paddle, which for the sake of illusion was said to magically make pizza appear. It technically did, but it was just one of those plastic pizza toys. And for the first session, he did a trick involving turning a $2 bill into 2 $1 bills and then reversing the process through folding and whatnot. And then for the second session, he briefly stopped by to do another card trick. I specifically requested another card trick. Now, these magic tricks are really sleight of hand, but he's so good at it that I still have no idea how he does it. The art's probably in maintaining the illusion. I told the magic man about my styrofoam drawings. Anyways, I draw on styrofoam with Sharpie markers. Although in the early years, I used a pen, and before that, a pencil. And it's a good thing I switched over to Sharpie markers because it's easier to draw on styrofoam, with Sharpie markers. I can't think of anything that can mark styrofoam more easily. I believe they had to season this steak and then let it sit for at least an hour. And then spent a considerable amount of time cooking it in the oven. Later on, I've got the task of putting the styrofoam drawings around the apartment unit, like a significant portion of them, into boxes, presumably for more stable safekeeping. I just started the process of putting all the non-Marvel styrofoam drawings into cardboard boxes that Dad has lying around. This process is for secure storage of any styrofoam drawings that aren't based off a Marvel character, since it is currently in the process of cleaning up the apartment unit. And this is a leftover cannoli from yesterday. I did some work on the 99th Dan Hamming today. Basically prepping the latest raw video for me to make the edits in within Camtasia 2019 to introduce Dan Hamming. For the 99th and for introducing Dan Hamming for the visiting of the family and friends waiting within the waiting room. As well as adding in the styrofoam drawing I completed pretty much first thing today, but couldn't really take a picture of until I got up today at around 11 or so. I ended up staying up until somewhere between 3 and 4 in the morning. For breakfast, I only really recall having 2 to 3 cups of coffee, though I'm more sure on the latter amount rather than the former amount. The styrofoam drawings I've made at Dad's apartment unit. It looked really nice to me, and I'm currently in the process of packing them away carefully. I'll resume work once I'm finished eating here. On LinkedIn, I easy applied for I believe it's a remote job opportunity. As if I recall correctly, a patent paralegal. I did that sometime between noon and maybe 2 p.m. I recall we also went to Wegmans before going to the Magic, before going to Salvatore's. Yeah, it's patent IDS. I don't have a paralegal certificate, but it said either that or bachelor's degree. So I'm pretty sure a bachelor's degree in at least criminal justice is Dan asked if I was still hungry, essentially, basically saying that if I was still hungry, there's more steak and some carrots, but that would probably be better saved for the morning. Anyway, I believe that a bachelor's degree in at least criminal justice is equivalent to a paralegal certificate, or at least it probably should be. I'm not sure if I have strong oral/written communication and analytical skills, though. I could certainly do my best within those aspects. Anyway, during the stop before Wegmans, the stop to Wegmans before Salvatore's, I helped my dad return some container deposits, primarily working with, excuse me, I think it was some kind of glass 12-pack of some brand of beer. And when that ran out, I helped with some of the plastic container deposits. which in this case just involved a different deposit return machine. I showed the Magic Guy my first styrofoam drawing, which I made in, I believe, November or December of 2013. It was done in pencil. I showed him some other ones. And he told me he's been in the magic business for his entire life, essentially, which led to an obvious joke of him being 28. So I reciprocated that by saying I was 12. And saying that I'm pretty old look pretty old for a 12-year-old. When in reality, I'm currently 21. So technically, it's still true if you flip the numbers. The Magic Guy really strikes me as someone with a pretty fun personality. I believe I even said that as me and Dad were leaving Salvatore's. And also, we also told the Magic Guy, or Magic Man, about our card souvenir from when we last saw him a long time ago. And the Magic Man made a request for me to make a drawing of him off of a styrofoam block, for which he initially gave one of his business cards, but I instead opted to take a picture of him, since he essentially requested a portrait at that point. And the business card just provided a cartoonized drawing of his head, which I think is formally called a bust drawing, was just the head. Or maybe it's just the head and upper body. That was drawn by someone who works within the comic book business.